Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to edit the story height. Now let's say that we'll go back to the this is the part when we did the grid line. When we did the grid line was here. Now in the beginning say that I'll come back to this part. If you go for new, now it will be separated, so let's say that, let me save this one. Now in the beginning we said this is the custom grade spacing. We have it here, custom grade spacing. You come here, you know what to do. At the same time you can go for story dimension. And in a story dimension, if the building is symmetry, you can go for this side here. Now let's say, how can we know if the story is symmetry? Now on the architectural plan, we'll go for the section that we have it. The height of story here will be from the slab to slab surface. So what does that mean? From this to the top of the slab, this is the story height. From the top of the slab to the top of the slab, those will be story height here. Now I have two story here. Yes, two story. It's a two-story building. Then I can go for this one with custom. I can use the uniform as well. The first one, the height of it, you have plus 0.5 here, so 3 meter. And for the other one, 3.5 to 6. If I'm not wrong, 6.5 or 6.5 will be there. Yeah, 6.5. So again, 3 meter. It's 3 by 3. I mean, I can use this one as a uniform here. I have two story, 3 by 3. Why? Because it is kind of easy symmetry. It can be done like this: 2 story, 3 by 3. Now if I cannot do this one here, maybe we have 3 stories and the third story is different, it's not 3. So where we go to custom story data. You'll edit story data the same way you did for grid. You'll have it here. I mean, it's easier than the other one. Now you have base, which is the base means that we're the top of the foundation. Imagine it. Base will be top of the foundation. Top of foundation. And this is 0. Elevation is 0 there. Now you can add the elevations if you want it. Now let's say that, what do we have there? I will add one which, according to the here plus 50, I can make sure this will be what? For example, if we know where is the foundation will be designed, if you know exactly where the foundation will be designed, so we'll be able, if the foundation is directly here, the top of the foundation is plus 50, then it doesn't matter if you assume this is 0. If you assume this is 0, and the rest of them will all be decreased by 0.5. It's not like Revit, you have to go exactly the way it is where the natural ground is. Basically here you're looking for the distance. The exact distance is important here, because you're going to analysis and design. So this is the top of the foundation, wherever it is. Then you go for the analysis and design. So I can leave it the way the idea is the elevation. I mean, I can write this one 3.5, but here we'll write 0.5 here, 0.5, and this will be 3.53, because you will just put the height here and it will calculate it for you. Look directly. Now this is okay, top of the foundation 0.5, the rest of them like this. Why this is, if you're converting this to Revit, it's better to go with the same elevation. Now, is this master story? Yes, you'll choose this one to be master story as well. Now there are things, we'll come back to it. If you have similarities, we'll select them here. We'll talk about this one later. Maybe you have multi-story. Now the story's name, you can change them top of the, for example, first floor, top of, or roof. We can name them as well. Instead of story 1, story 2, you can change the name here, top of first floor, and then top of second floor for this one. You press OK, you have the custom story data. You do the same thing for the grid, you press OK, and you have the two story, but I did it separately. That's why you don't see the grid lines here. You'll see you have two. If you go to for the elevation, now you will see this is the two story you have it, and from here you'll be able to see the name of them: top of the foundation, top of first floor, top of second floor. Same thing, and the distance between them 3 meter, 3 meter, which we specify them in the custom grid line. So you do two of them together and you'll get the grid lines and the elevations that you have it there. Now you might need to add another grid lines. I mean elevation, sometime you need it. Why? Let's say that you want to have one for the staircase. It's possible that you want to add another grid line for the top of the staircase if you want to model the staircase. So you'll be able to add another kind of story. It's not a story, it will be just a line for the, for example, this part here. If you have it, you can add one for this as well, because you have a beam there. So if you're going to model this, you need to have as well this one here. So how much it will be? You need this. You will add this one as a story. It is not a story, but the name of it, you will write it, for example, top of, say, landing. Top of landing here, I can add it. So remember, it doesn't matter. You don't need to start from scratch. Right click, doesn't matter. Now you have the grid system, you have it here. Add grid, add modify grids. From here, this is the grid system, this is the story data. Yes, story data. So you can say modify show story data, bring you back here. This is what you have it, yes. So this is the thing that you have it here. Now you can click add story, go back here, it's the story here. I'll change this one to top of landing. For example, this will not be master story. I'll make it master story. Now here, in order to change the location of this, I'll bring it, sorry. Let me add. So we'll do it in this way to be insert above story, top of foundation. I mean, it's easier to add it here. In the beginning will be easy to add it, not editing it. So editing is something you're supposed to start from here. Now, this is story height, whatever will be, let's say 1.4 meter 8 feet height. Press OK. I mean to add it above the top of the foundation. I mean this will be whatever it is, they will write this one top of landing, top of landing. Now adding it here, I don't recommend it. So in the beginning, if you have it, it's possible to do it. It's possible to do it, but the way that you're writing it down, I mean you right click and go for if you add it to other place here, quick add story, you'll add it at the top of it. Fortunately, I don't know, there was no access to move them down, so we had to add it from the add story from here. Doesn't matter, these things elevation or height here. In the beginning will be easier. In the beginning will be easier if you do it. So we'll have it here. Press OK. You'll have one here as well, top of landing. Remember, I didn't make this one master story. It's just a grid line. I'm gonna use it for the landing if I need for the staircase. So this is, you can do in the beginning. it might be easier to do directly, no need to add this. So in the beginning, when you have the story data, you'll be able to add 4 in the beginning, for example 4, then you can go to edit here. From there you can adjust them in the beginning. So remember, it will be easier. You can still add here, but easier to add. Select the stories, the grids that you have, but then you can go there and then edit them. Remember, if it is basically master story is for what? The master story, I'll come back to this one later. If we have similarities, it will be all linked to the master story. I mean, it's similar to story 4 because story 4 is the master, so the rest will be similar. If they're all of them master, they are different things, so say master, there will not be similarity to anyone. We'll talk about this one later. If there is no slab, leave it like this, or I can make anyone master. This will talk about them. If you have similarities, you can just use it for copying the things, or you can just model one and come here and say this is similar to that story, similar to that story. Remember the naming, you can adjust them, and then you will put the height here. Their elevation will be changed. Remember the base, it's where the top of the foundation. You can name them, you can put elevation here, it doesn't matter. It does not start from 0, totally fine. The rest of them will take the elevation after 0, adding, so 0 plus 3 will come here, and so on for the elevation heights. I believe this is enough for the elevation as well. We'll come back to them if required to do something. So after having the grid lines and the elevation, means that we are ready to do the modeling. Now, one thing before going into modeling, the grid lines, normally we use those grid lines to draw things on them, or place columns, beams, slabs in between those grid lines. Sometimes we have a lot of grid lines that required in order for drawing. So remember, you're supposed to have enough grid line in order to help you to model correctly the location of those beams, column, slab within the building.